All right, Knicks fans, whether we're at the Chat Sports studios or at home, we're bringing you the latest Knicks news and rumors. In this case, I'm at the crib because all day I've been thinking about Immanuel Quickley and Miles McBride as the future backcourt for the Knicks, and we had to bring you a video. Before we get into that, though, hit that red subscribe button down below and subscribe to our brand new Knicks News and Rumors channel here at Chat Sports. We launched it about 3 weeks ago, and we are 12 subscribers away from hitting the 1,000 subscriber mark. More subscribers equals more videos. So once again, hit that red subscribe button down below. Want to talk about Immanuel Quickley, Miles McBride, and some of the other young pieces on this roster who have been flashing so far in the Las Vegas Summer League. Let's start with Immanuel Quickley. So last year as a rookie, I thought he flashed at times, and I think he has a lot of potential to be a special player because as a rookie, we saw that in spurts. Him and Tyrese Maxey, both Kentucky products, being drafted in the 20s in the draft last year could end up being a steal because I think both of those guys could end up being top 10, top 15 players in their respective draft classes. For Quickley, the big improvement that he had to make going into this offseason and going into his sophomore campaign was just becoming a more consistent shooter. And so far in the Summer League, he's been that. His debut game in Las Vegas wasn't all that great, but he has been fantastic the last couple of games. And to see him and Miles McBride against the Los Angeles Lakers on Wednesday night go for 25 points and 22 points respectively after Quickley had gone off for 32 against the Indiana Pacers is such a great sign. Because the biggest flaw of Immanuel Quickley's game was shooting last year. The raw numbers were pretty solid. 11.5 points per game as a rookie. He shot 39.5% from the deck, which is really below average. But the 38.5% from distance was a positive sign. I think he has a clean stroke. I think it's a stroke that lends itself to being a little bit more consistent. And in Summer League, I think that the three-point shot has been a little bit more of a quicker release, which is really important for Quickley. He's got the athleticism to put the ball on the deck. The Knicks really would like him to emerge as a potential future point guard. I think you've seen the skill set there with his ability to handle the rock, have the ball on a string. He's got the creation ability to get to the cup, but I also like his passing ability as well. But most importantly, he has really stood out as a catch-and-shoot shooter or a guy who can shoot off the bounce. And I think that's a very positive development for the Knicks moving ahead. As for Miles McBride, what he did against the Lakers on Wednesday night in Vegas was phenomenal. 22 points, hitting a couple of threes. I'm really focusing in on the defense here, though. When you play for Bob Huggins at West Virginia, you're just built different. You're a dog. You have a different mentality about you. And Miles McBride has that. He has no fear. He's a very selfless player. He doesn't always care about contributing offensively like a guy like Frank Ntilikina, who ended up being a bust because his offensive game never developed over time. Why I like McBride is because he's going to give you as much defense as Frank, but much more offensively than Frank. And for him as a rookie to already be flashing some of this potential is great news for the New York Knicks. And I really just think that he is a Tom Thibodeau guy. He's a perfect Tibbs player. He'll pick you up the whole length of the court, and on some nights he's going to have a bunch of opportunities to help you offensively. But if he doesn't have those opportunities, he's going to be totally cool with staying in his lane, playing his role of being a defensive stopper. And for Quickley and McBride, both can handle, both can play a little bit off ball. And as you project forward for the New York Knicks backcourt, I think Quickley and McBride are two pieces that you can kind of build with. And the most New York Knicks, Miles McBride, bulldog type of gritty thing that he could have done was after he drops 22 points and several threes and really flashes in that 22-point performance, he goes out to eat in Las Vegas with his Las Vegas Summer League Knicks jersey. Thibodeau is going to love this guy because he's going to give you so much defensively, and he's going to excel and do anything that he can to improve offensively. Quickley and McBride, very, very excited about two of those pieces. I know in this past draft, I was confused as to why the Knicks kept trading back and sliding down in the draft, but to get Quentin Grimes where you got him in the first round, to get McBride where you got him at 36 in the second round, excellent value. McBride, for me, on my top 100 big board going into the draft, was a top 26 player. So him falling to the mid-30s to New York, I love the selection there, especially because he has the identity, he has the makeup of what New York Knicks fans love, watching everything pop off inside Madison Square Garden. A couple of other things I want to get to. Obi Toppin, much improved in Summer League so far. I'm going to pump the brakes just a bit on Toppin because I want to see how his athleticism translates against better talent. Right now, he's going up against inferior defenders, guys who I expect Obi Toppin to expose. I want to see how he does against better athletes, guys who are just as athletic and bouncy as him, and see how he does against those guys in the regular season. But so far, so good for Obi. He's got an interesting game. We know that he's a high flyer. We know that he's a leaper. He can be a rim running big. He can extend his game out to the three-point arc. He, like Quickley, has to be a little bit more improved there. But you're kind of banking on his athleticism to help him win in certain situations. Because of his athleticism, he's been able to win in some of those situations so far in Summer League. Speaking of athleticism, Jericho Sims out of Texas, sometimes I don't even think he realizes how athletic he is. He's stupid athletic. And his bounce sometimes is like, yo, were you built in a lab? I mean, it seems as though he can hit his chin on the rim. Now, he is such a raw prospect. He's an awful free throw shooter, so you really can't at this point play him late in games. I don't expect him to get a lot of minutes right away because he is very raw and undefined. But Sims, as a project, I kind of like him. Shot blocker, guy who's energetic, guy who can rebound and block shots. For him, have the opportunity to learn alongside a guy like Nerlens Noel, I kind of like it. New York, your basketball team is once again relevant. It's once again exciting. I like what they did in free agency because they had a plan A of going star hunting, but they operated like a good business. When the market didn't work out in their favor, they had a backup plan. They rerouted, they pivoted, and I still thought they had a good offseason where they put together a roster that's deep with very few holes in a wide open Eastern Conference. Before I get out of here, Knicks fans, let me hit you with this question. Your level of excitement for Immanuel Quickley and Miles McBride together as a future backcourt, scale it for me from 1 to 10. 1 being, I think they both suck. 10 being, I think they could be future Hall of Famers and continue to bring New York basketball back. Get those votes in the comment section down below. And once again, hit that red subscribe button down below. Let's get to 1,000 subscribers because frankly, we want to do more Knicks videos here at Chat Sports.